Alright, somebody commented on me turned off blot video asking if it was me that wrote the Fanny song. Well, unfortunately, yes, I did write. Well, it's not called the Fanny song. I think somebody called it that on YouTube to make a video. I didn't make the video. I don't know who made the video, but I think they called it the Fanny song. The actual title of the song is Our Lass's Massive Fanny. Right? Now, I wrote that song, I don't know, at least 20 years ago. Right? Why did I write it? Well, at the time, my level of political consciousness wasn't anything like it is today. It was kind of infantile socialism. I was a socialist, but I was in the very beginnings of learning all about socialism. I had many contradictions going on, you know. I mean, I'd managed to conquer the racism that I'd had in me earlier days, in my youth. But sexism was another matter. You know, it took me much longer to get over my sexist ideas, because sexism's more deeply instilled in us by capitalism than racism is. You know, we're conditioned to be sexist from birth. From the very moment we're fucking born, we're separated. Boys, girls, blue, pink, and all that shite. You know? We are socially conditioned to be sexist, to see females as inferior and sexual objects. You know, at every turn in life, males are conditioned to see themselves as superior to females, and it's a fundamental cornerstone of capitalist ideology, sexism. It's deeply ingrained in capitalist society. You can't escape it, you can't avoid it. If you're a man, if you're a boy, a male, and you're born into capitalism, guaranteed you're going to become sexist. And if you ever become anti-sexist, you'll have to fight within yourself constantly, because you're being bombarded with sexism every day, at every turn. So, yeah, of course I was sexist in my youth. I still, to this day, struggle with sexist ideas, you know. I always will. But at least I'm now fully conscious of sexism, of where it comes from, why it exists, and how it gets in our heads. I'm fully conscious of that. Most people are not. And 20 odd years ago, I wasn't anywhere near that level of awareness. So yeah, I wrote a song called Our Lass's Massive Fanny. Now, it's not meant to be taken literally, right? Our lass doesn't have a vagina the size of Tame Valley, right? Obviously. What it was, at the time, I'd wrote a few other songs and I was getting a positive response in the pubs. And I just ran with it, you know. I just thought, right, I'm going to write the most ridiculous songs that I can think of. I wrote Our Lass's Massive Fanny. I wrote Raw Chicken, which was about having sex with a raw chicken and other inanimate objects. I wrote Taxi Slapper. I wrote Having a Wank. I wrote Cabbagey Pumps. I wrote fucking loads of stuff, you know, loads. I made an album with about 30 tracks on it. But yeah, it was a brief period of my life. And I moved on from it pretty sharpish because my socialist development was rapid. And no sooner had I wrote them songs, I was distancing myself from them. I didn't want anything to do with them. I mean, I've been tempted over the years, you know, when I'm in the company of friends or whatever, or I'm in a busker's night, which is a rare thing now, but yeah, I have been guilty of chucking out a couple of songs here and there just to please other people. But it's not something that I dwell on. It's not something I've got any intention of reviving. I've got no interest certainly in making money from it. It's not me anymore, and it hasn't been for a long, long time. So yeah, I wrote a song about fannies or vaginas. At the time, I called them fannies. So hey, fannies, you know, I'm not proud of it. A little bit I am, because at the end of the day, people did enjoy them. For all the faults, for all the wrong, for all the sexist, people did enjoy them, including women. And look, I can't correct that. I can't give everyone a proper anti-sexist attitude. Sexism's out there, and it affects men and women, and it impacts on what we find funny. We are what we are, you know. We're products of capitalism, and I'm not going to feed off that anymore. I'm not going to write songs in that sort of vein. I'm not promoting that stuff. I never have promoted it. I haven't promoted it in 20 years at least, anyway. I'm not peddling it at all. Somebody a few people put videos on YouTube. One of them's very fucking got shitloads of views, nearly 1 million views, I believe. But I'm not asked about that. That's their business. It's not for me. It's not. As far as that, I see them songs as a part of my history, but a very different version of me created them, you know. That's not me now at all. And it's interesting to analyse who I was then and the journey that took me to who I am today. I analyse that all the time, but I'm not that person. I'm not that person anymore. I mean, I haven't got the friends that I had then, for starters. Well, I actually have got some friends, because it was a transitional period actually when I was writing them songs. At the same time I was knocking out comedy songs, I was becoming a socialist. So some of the friends that I made back then, the more left-wing, politically minded ones, I'm still friends with today. But others who just loved those songs and weren't interested in my political direction, no, they went for a Burton. I'm not mates with most of them anymore. So yeah. Oh, massive transformation, massive. But yeah, to the guy who asked us if I wrote a song called The Fanny Song, yeah. Well, I wrote a song that was about. I wrote a few songs. I wrote one called Fannies and Tits, which it is what it says, you know. It's just a song about fannies and tits. It's about a male perspective and how we are pretty much obsessed with female fucking sexual bits, you know. We are. Or I was anyway. I mean, obviously I'm still heterosexual, so I'm still attracted, but I'm not as fucking. I don't objectify the way I used to, if you know what I mean. Anyway, yeah. So hands up, I'm guilty. 20 odd years ago, that was me. I did do that, but it's not me now, and I don't do that now. So there's your answer. Make of it what you will. I'm not arsed either way. See you in the next one. Tatty bye.